Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to rumble!
Please welcome boxing's legendary and only 8-division
champion of the world!
He is boxing's undisputed #1 attraction, ready to take on the challenge of his career.
Now making his entrance to the ring, the fighting pride of the Philippines.
Wearing red, official weight 145, 3/4 pound. His professional record, 50 victories, including 38 knockouts with 3 defeats and 2 draws. The former lightweight world champion, former super bantamweight world champion, former featherweight world champion, former super featherweight world champion, former lightweight world champion, former light welterweight world champion, and reigning, defending WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Atlanta, Georgia, it's showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner tonight, seeking his 3rd division world title. Wearing white trunks with yellow and silver trim, the young star of boxing from Baltimore, and representing his adopted home of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at 139 3/4 pounds with a sensational record of 24 wins, no losses. He has 23 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the popular and acclaimed 3-time 2-division world champion, the hard-hitting, current and undefeated WBA super featherweight and WBA lightweight champion of the world, introducing Gervonta.
Rounds while applying non-stop pressure. However, Pacquiao's aggressive style also carried risks. He often attacked in bursts, leaving brief openings during. Tonight's boxing conversation feels unreal yet irresistible. Manny Pacquiao, the living legend whose speed once spent time itself, stands opposite Gervonta Tank Davis, a modern destroyer built on patience and explosive precision. This isn't a simple clash of eras. It's a test of what truly defines greatness: experience against raw power, movement against timing, legacy against hunger. One carries decades of championship wisdom, the other carries knockout intent in every step. Fans aren't asking who wins rounds. Music. They're asking who controls destiny when pressure peaks. This is the kind of matchup boxing dreams are made of. Manny Pacquiao's story is written in angles, volume, and relentless motion. His footwork, combinations, music, and fearless mindset made champions hesitate and legends fall. Across from him, Gervonta Davis represents today's evolution. Calm, calculating, and devastating opportunity appears. Music. Tank doesn't chase chaos, he waits for it. This fight becomes a masterclass in timing versus tempo, patience versus pressure. Training philosophies collide. Ring IQ takes center stage, and every exchange carries consequences. This is not nostalgia or hype. This is a strategic puzzle where one miscalculation could instantly turn. Manny, music. Pacquiao is more than a legend. He's an anomaly in boxing history. His success came from a rare blend of explosive hand speed, unpredictable footwork, and relentless aggression. As a southpaw, Pacquiao attacked from angles most fighters never see, darting in and out with lightning-fast combinations before opponents could react. His punch volume was overwhelming, often forcing music fighters into survival mode. Even elite champions struggled to time him because his movement was constant and unconventional. Pacquiao's greatest weapon was not just speed, but his ability to maintain exchanges. His defense relied heavily on movement rather than a tight guard, meaning precise counter-punches could catch him coming in. Throughout his career, Pacquiao showed moments of vulnerability when opponents timed his forward momentum. Against a puncher like Tank Davis, music, those openings become extremely dangerous, especially if Pacquiao is not in his absolute music prime. Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today because of his ability to end fights suddenly. Tank possesses explosive knockout power, elite counterpunching instincts, and a calm patience that separates him from reckless brawlers. Music. Unlike many power punchers, Tank does not chase knockouts. He studies opponents round by round, slowly downloading their timing, habits, and defensive mistakes. Once he finds the opening, the fight often ends instantly, sometimes when it appears he's losing on the scorecards. Tank's biggest strengths are his precision and timing. His left hand is devastating, especially when thrown as a counter or uppercut. His body shots are brutal and often overlooked, breaking opponents down before the knockout comes upstairs. However, Tank is not without flaws. He sometimes gives away early rounds while analyzing opponents, which could be risky against a high-volume fighter like Pacquiao. Music. Additional Tank has not faced many elite, fast southpaws with relentless pressure, making this matchup, music, particularly intriguing at its core. Pacquiao versus Tank Davis is a classic speed versus power matchup. Pacquiao looks to control the fight by winning minutes, outworking his opponent with movement angles and volume. Tank looks to win seconds, waiting patiently, music. For one mistake that changes everything. Pacquiao overwhelms fighters over time. Tank ends fights in moments. That contrast defines the entire fight. In the early rounds, Pacquiao would likely start fast, using his footwork and hand speed to keep Tank on the defensive. He would attack in flurries, darting in and out, forcing Tank to reset repeatedly. Tank meanwhile would remain calm, keeping a high guard and absorbing information. Music. These early rounds would likely favor Pacquiao on points, as his activity and movement make it difficult for Tank to land cleanly. As the fight moves into the middle rounds, the danger increases significantly. Tank begins to adjust, timing Pacquiao's entries and exits more accurately. Body shots start to play a role, slowing Pacquiao's movement just enough to create openings. While